Alright guys, I have a song here by Suspended Air called Sculptor. I'm going to go over my vocal production and then just some subgroups and the mid bus. So here's the chorus. And then I'm starting the verse. Alright, the verse vocal, I have some things going on. We recorded this with an auto-tune pedal that the artist has. So that was just baked into the track. And then I did some slight tuning because I still felt it needed something, but nothing major. I used Soothe to knock out the harshness. So this is just bare.
Passed out
Then with Soothe.
For your call. I've been patient.
And then with this Nectar isotope plugin, I had some EQ, some compression, some reverb, and a de-esser.
Passed out waiting.
The EQ, I just had some low mids that I feel like I needed. I took out some sub around 149. I added a little bit of mid-range, took out some more harshness, and then I took a bunch of high-end, but I also added a little bit of low-end.
Passed out waiting for
brings it up a little bit in your face, and then I kind of did the same thing. Low-end, high-end shelf, a little bit more harshness, compression, and then just another de-esser.
Passed out waiting for your call.
And then that goes to a vocal group, and then from there, that'll go to a subgroup, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then I just have that going to a reverb.
Passed out waiting for.
With a short plate, and then a de-esser, and then also a delay. I have a verse delay, and then the chorus comes in, I'll have a longer delay. So I want the words to be dragged out. And then I have a longer reverb and another de-esser.
Passed out waiting for your.
And I will explain this delay. So chorus delay, verse delay, first chorus delay, because the second chorus is on another track and has another vocal vibe. But so it goes from verse to chorus.
Killing me, sculpt and breaking down each night.
So each word is dragged out, and then I did start it on the end of the verse. So that little break, you hear a little bit of a decay and delay.
Killing me, sculpt.
And then I also have this delay throw. And that's just going into the same delay. And then that shuts off for the second verse.
Mapped out right where I went wrong. I felt vacant all along. Let me witness.
And we did do a different effect. It basically just has like a vocal synth like I use in this chorus right here. And I'll go over that right now.
And breaking down each night. Oh,
So right here, I just used Isotope's vocal synth, and then turned a bunch of high end and low end out. Then with the main vocal.
Each night, all my flaws have come.
And then we did some doubles on those, so left and right side.
Breaking down each night, all my flaws have.
And then I decided not to really add anything to that. And then I did do on the main vocal, similar to the verse, EQ, compressor. I did do some harmony, very light, reverb, de-esser, then same deal. Took out a little bit more harshness, and our compressor.
And breaking down each night, oh my.
And then we added some harmonies. Which I just added a bunch of 1.5K, 8K shelf, and some 600. And a little bit of low end. And then took out the highness and all the low.
And breaking down each night.
And then that goes into a vocal sub, which is just Shadow Hills. I used optical. Took out a little bit of high end, a bunch of low end. This Echo Boy kicks on at the end, kind of like the other one does. And then I took away some low end.
And breaking down each night, all my flaws have come to light.
On this Shadow Hills that comes first in the vocal sub bus, I did a little bit of the discrete compressor, and I did a ratio of 3. I did a 10 millisecond attack, and then I didn't go that fast on the recovery. I wanted the release to kind of go with the vocals. And that's pretty much it for the vocals. Just a lot of, we wanted like a lo-fi deal vibe. And so a lot of it just high end and low end out, and then cutting the harshness and just doing a lot of mid range. I kind of did that for everything in the song. It's like bass and drums, keys and pads. Sweet, and now I will talk about my mix bus. I usually don't go this hard, I guess, on the mix bus, but I ended up piling it on, and I liked it, so I just went with it. I did some saturation, and then I went with like an SSL kind of style EQ. Usually I'm using the auto release, but this time I'm not. Doing 10 millisecond, 0.3, and I like just hitting a little bit, like 2 dB, 3 dB. And then I only did 73%, so I'm not 100% compressing it. Then I did some EQ. Again, took out like 600 hertz, like 5K over here, 300, another like 200. This is doing like the bulk of my mix bus. Then I added some low end. I did the Pultec trick where you boost and cut. And then I did boost some 8K. I used a Dreadwills mix bus. I think this thing sounds great. It can get a little harsh, so I rounded it out with the tape machine. I did some compression, just Larry Long. And then the final was Soothe, which helped a lot. And then I did the Mad EQ. And I did some more. I hit it pretty hard, almost 6 dB, but then I toned down the mids control. And this is with no mids bus at all. I wouldn't always use this much on my mix bus, but usually I just have like any compression and then maybe some like saturation. But it worked for this song, so I kind of just went with it. Here it is again. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. Ridiculous how much is on there, but it works. And then I'll use tone balance from Isotope to every now and then just take a look at it and see how it's reacting. And the low end isn't like up as much as maybe it should be, but it sounded fine when listening on other sources. So if something sounds fine but visually doesn't look fine, I feel like you should just go with how it sounds. Use your ears, not your eyes. And that's the vocal production in the buses. If you have any questions about it, or you want to hear another song, or let me know what you think. So, thanks, guys.